And I like that. I really like the fact that Scott can just beat the snot out of someone. And, like, his friends, like, don't mention this. If this were reality and you just seen him just totally own this guy, they would be like, yeah, Scott, whatever you want, just don't kick me. But no. And that's great. And there are a few moments of humor that are just tops. And I found myself smiling through this entire movie. Alright, which, that's quite a feat, because in a lot of comedies, you're either laughing or you're not. Or you're either laughing or you're just watching. This movie, if you're the sort of person who can really appreciate this movie just carries this resident glow that just, you'll leave the theaters feeling good about yourself, because, you think back to, like, when you were, like, 10 or something, and you'd think, man, it would be cool to be a video game designer. Then everyone tells you, there are no video game designers, no one makes any money doing that. And then you see, an interview with, like, one of the heads of, like, Bethesda, or with Peter Molyneux or whatever, and you realize, hey, there are actually people making money doing this, That's the same sort of feeling that you're going to take away from Scott Pilgrim. Someone understands me. But I'll get back to that later. There were two moments of humor that I thought were just tops. One was one of the evil X's is a psychic vegan, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And then the one thing that I laughed out loud for this one, I LLL'd most extensively on this one. It's a Seinfeld reference, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's hilarious. But speaking of the humor, I think that's really going to define the demographic of people who can appreciate this movie, who are going to find this movie really genuinely entertaining. Someone who wants a good action flick and can put up with a lot of the other stuff, yeah, they'll have a good time. But I think that the people who are going to come out the most fulfilled are people who of a very specific demographic. The movie, it doesn't make a whole lot of, like, comic book references and stuff. It makes video game references. But even then, it takes something more than that just to fully, in my opinion, grasp, not grasp, but to fully appreciate the comedy. To really grab hold of it. For it to fully engage you. You need to have this particular sense of humor. And if you do, it'll really click. I felt going out of the movie like some big satellite corporation or something had just, like, picked out, like, me and the three other friends that I went with, and was like, we're going to make a movie to suit their tastes exactly. That's seriously how it felt, and I know I can't possibly be the only one out there. So, so for those others of you who feel like that, I mean, it's gonna click magnificently. And the fun thing about it, of the style that it was done, and sort of the reality that they're doing, is that the gags and jokes mean something. They have a palpable presence within the movie. And I'm gonna give you a bit of a spoiler here, but I mean, spoilers in a movie like this isn't that big of a deal. I mean, you just don't want me to spoil the comedy, and I won't as much as possible. But this is a moment that they show in a lot of trailers where Scott is like, "I'm gonna go get a life," and then he grabs this little sprite that's hovering above his head with a little one-up next to it. He's just like, zoom. And that comes into play later on in the movie. And again, here's where the spoiler is. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Go ahead a couple of, 45 seconds or whatever in the video. Scott dies, okay? He gets defeated. but he got a 1-up. He got a life, you know, so he returns. That's genius! You know, it's that, in my opinion, solidified the video game reality that they're doing here. And, you know, and just that and so many other things, it just made a really enjoyable movie for me. I would highly recommend it for anyone who saw the trailers and thought it looked good, or at least thought it looked interesting. And I thought it looked interesting. It looked like something I might want to try out. And I'm so glad that I did, because it's really good. I'm sorry, I don't mean to add so much hyperbole to this. I feel that this is kind of regressing back to my District 9 review. But it really was, this movie, Scott Pilgrim, really was that good. Alright, you know, all hyperbole aside, I would strongly recommend going to see it. You know, it's just something that you can go and watch and really enjoy and kind of feel that your sensibilities are being validated, in a sense. A validating movie. If Michael Cera can get the girl, be an action star, and still be Michael Cera, then I should be allowed to live in the upstairs of my own house. I am the Dungeon Eskimo, and until next time, keep watching, and farewell. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some Displacer Beasts to kill.